Hello everyone, welcome to the next session of fast sketching, croquis with fait. And in this video, I am kind of sketching my son briefly. I try to do as fast as possible, the children not necessarily have great patience. This is about portraiture a bit, In portraiture, once you learn how to draw the lips, the nose, the eyes, heads, and the proportions approximately. I would strongly invite you to kind of try to draw fast faces. And if you want to make sure that, for example, you have enough time and everything, I would suggest you go to the museum, take some statue, a sculpture, whatever, and try to draw it indirect from the sculpture. There is nothing better than three-dimensional forms to draw portraiture. And picture is not the best thing to do because it's flat to flat, and when you draw in situ and you draw faces from three-dimensional kind of forms, either real model or sculptures, you have to deal with the 3D object, how to transform this, give impression of 3D on the surface of 2D. That's what is so important, to draw from the dimensional forms. So you should actually, in the worst now you can also practice on your own face, looking at the mirror, and draw yourself as many times as you wish. It's, as I mentioned in previous videos, you can draw one face, many times. That's the way artists were doing before. So they were drawing themselves, so they were studying actually the portraiture and everything on their own faces, because there wasn't really necessarily always model available, and so the best would be, and it doesn't cost anything because you have your own face in the mirror and you just study all these features, and you will see that as many times you draw it, your face, each time you get slightly different, different effects. That's very interesting process. I like to study this, drawing, one face many times, and I see how differently I can see it each time when I am working on it. So as soon as I have kind of, brief sketches, I like also put some little color, briefly, nothing fancy. It just kind of, looking for kind of, make it a little bit much more interesting than just normally just a sketch. And at the same time, it's a practice of color applications and what you can get with this spontaneous kind of way, because you know that you want to do this sketch as fast as possible, and so there is the time factor. You have to deal with it, and it makes the sketching and coloring it even much more interesting, because you can't just take all your time. You have not too much time to analyze everything to the perfection. It's just those brief moments, and most of the time I try to get my sketches within 1 minute. I mean, the basic kind of line of drawing within 1 minute. Sometimes it takes 2, but that's what I'm heading to. I like to do this kind of, exercises that I like to be really brief. I do similar exercises for whatever I draw. So anyway, I will share with you this in this fast videos to show you that drawing could be fun, and it's not necessary. You don't have to necessarily spend hours and hours to make the drawing interesting. It could be, of course, it's good to spend time and do perfect work. I also do this, and but I have much more fun always to fast sketch and get the best results I can within the short amount of time. So most of the time I am going like there and back, and this video I just took a little bit more time than usually, but I just wanted to kind of, maybe put some much more contrast, such much more lines. So when I applied kind of briefly colors, I will get back to the pencil and try to kind of emphasize certain contours, lines, which got somehow lost when you were applying the water and kind of a little bit watercolor. Because I draw with aquarelle pencil, so that's normal. When you put some water and you color it, it fades a little bit, so it kind of reworks certain parts a little bit, emphasizing contrast with the pencil itself. It gives you much more nicer effects. But anyway, that's, as I said, is this still fast sketching. Doesn't take even 10 minutes, so I would suggest you practice faces this way as well. See you then.